Hi everyone, it's Tracy Learn.
And Peter Murray. Good morning, good evening, Tracy.
Yes, good evening. You know, I've been gone all day and all of a sudden the prices jumped by $20.
That's amazing. And won't you be away tomorrow as well, please?
Well, that's the plan.
Well, technically, the price is making a breakout here from a consolidation with good volume. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, very exciting. I mean, I must say 752, and of course, this is the conservative pricing from Coinbase. We know on the other side of the world, in Hong Kong and China, the price is a lot more. Besides that, the price is a hang of a lot more in India, you know, because of what's going on over there. So, yeah, time to get in, hey? Get in quick.
Yes, Bitcoin is what did the guy said at the interview yesterday? It's just at ridiculously low prices. By the way, that was a very good interview I had with that blockchain specialist. So if anybody goes to our YouTube channel, go look for that video, the one we made yesterday or the day before.
Yes, and with Lorian Gamarov, and also remember next week. I mean, not next week. Tomorrow is our Price Watch recording, and we're going to have a winner.
Yeah, I must
Whoever
say,
predicts the price.
I must say, Tracy, my prediction is still off the mark. I prophesized the price of 684, but it looks like it might be $100 above my price that I guessed.
Looks like I'm winning that bet.
Just again.
Okay, let's go to the news, and we're on our Facebook page. So if there's any news here that you want to read up about, go and have a look at the article on our Facebook page. Like us, follow us. There's loads of stuff there. So first article: Siemens partners with LO3 building blockchain microgrids. What's a microgrid?
A microgrid is a very small grid.
Constant evolution at the grid edge requires advanced control, automation, and data analytics technologies enabling secure, stable, and reliable integration of decentralized energy systems.
That's very, very interesting. And Siemens haven't been in the news a lot with the blockchain, but all of a sudden we're seeing them being involved. And a lot of German companies are coming up with all interesting things. And very interesting, Tracy, now that I think back about it, when I went to the Electronica show in Munich, there was a lot of companies involved with the Internet of Things that's related to electricity and this type of energy and this type of stuff.
Well, energy seems to be in the forefront again. I mean, the Americans are talking about energy as well.
Yes, the Americans are talking about energy because what's happened now is the oil prices are starting to rise because OPEC has just announced caps on the oil price for a very long time. Saudi Arabia are capping their output, Russia, Iran, all working together. So it's going to be interesting.
Amazing. Okay, third corrupt U.S. government agent discovered in Silk Road case. It's actually quite amazing how the you know, the people that were investigating the Silk Road, you know, of course, that was where you could, right in the beginning of Bitcoin's life, you could buy and sell drugs. It was a little bit on the dodgy side. Anyway, Ross Albright was sent to jail for this. And but yet there was an FBI, the one of the guys that actually fingered him or found him, he ended up, you know, stashing and stealing a whole lot of the Bitcoin. And now they found a third one. I mean, it's actually quite ridiculous.
Well, actual fact is it just shows you government officials are corrupt. Donald Trump were right. The FBI is corrupt.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's crazy stuff. Anyway, at least they found them. Here's another thing about Germany, by the way. Central Bank of Germany reveals functional securities blockchain.
Yes, the Germans are very much into this, and they've been silently developing a few things, and now all of a sudden comes around, and they didn't do all this news. We're developing this, we're developing that. They're actually coming to market with things that are done, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it says here, development will focus on analyzing the technical benefits and scalability of the software, because they've built some, I don't know, something on the blockchain, a blockchain application, the two banks.
Very interesting.
Oh, sorry, what's happened here? We go across there, we go up. Yeah,
The blockchain just went off center a little bit.
yeah, it did actually. So do you even Bitcoin? How's this guy in the air?
I don't know, but you know, I always wonder how those guys land on their wheels.
Yeah, I do too. But anyway, let's not concern ourselves with that. Let's think about India. India, cashless citizens are locking up bankers. Bankers are bracing. I mean, you know what? It's amazing what the media come up with, you know, these headlines.
But I must say,
But
they are nothing like an angry mob going to the local bank trying to get the bank manager locked up or whatever. But the media is hyping it a bit, yes.
yeah, but they're actually not locking up. They're not locking them in jail. They're locking them in their office so they can help them.
What they're doing is they're basically storming the bank and trying to get them to exchange their stuff. And the guys are effectively kept hostage there by the mob outside. So we'll see what happens. This is a very interesting development, and it's going to be a big test for the Indian government.
It will be. And they actually say that about 20 million, almost twice the population of Greece, will queue up at bank branches and ATMs over the coming week, when most employers pay most employees in India pay their staff. You know, and it just says here 98% of consumer payments are in cash.
Wow, this is amazing.
I mean,
so they want their wholesale change. I understand the reason why they want the change. I don't understand why they've decided to make this change so quickly. They could have given people more time, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit hectic, isn't it?
Mm.
Bitfury paper makes case for auditability as blockchain's defining feature. What makes blockchain a blockchain? So now apparently Bitfury is now weighing in this definition of one of the most debated words in the fintech sector.
Well, the most debated word in the fintech sector, I would assume, is blockchain itself. But the thing is, the blockchain can be audited because there's a record of every transaction. So it's very easy to go back and see what happened.
Absolutely. And in the next article, altcoin trading declines as Bitcoin value rises. And yeah, it's talking here a little bit about Zcash and the decline of Ethereum and stumbling value of Monero. Do you know that Ethereum has, I think yesterday, I think it was went down to about $8.
There's a serious problem at Ethereum at the moment, and we're keeping a very, very close eye on Ethereum to see what's going to happen next. Because if they drop below a certain value, people will start losing complete confidence in Ethereum, and Ethereum might be the end of Ethereum.
Just says underwhelming performance of altcoins. But I mean, if you think about Bitcoin right in the beginning, it took a long time to gain traction.
Yes, it did. But the thing with altcoins is, you know, if they don't have any distinguishing reason for people to use them, why wouldn't people just keep on using Bitcoins where all the development and stuff are taking place? Unless you come up with something that's seriously different or has serious improvement, there's no point really.
Yeah. And actually, here's this article about Ether prices near 7-month low as blockchain issues spook investors. So it fell a bit below $8. They're continually being targeted, you know, and attacked.
The question now is, will Ethereum survive? And if they do, is this a bargain price? That's going to be very interesting.
Bargain price.
Might be.
Oh my goodness, here's another do you even Bitcoin?
I'm telling you what, Tracy, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this later on, maybe next week. But I saw a very interesting article about, you know, I see the little fashion model there with a Bitcoin thingy on a shoulder. The fashion industry is embracing the blockchain, and there's a company in Shanghai that came up with this concept where they actually put a private key on every garment. And then these garments are, you can follow the history of the garment with the story and everything by just scanning a QR code. And this is all on the blockchain. The thing is called Ghost Baby. And I'll send you the link, and we can talk about it a little bit. But I think the fashion industry is, and even the music industry, the creative industries are looking at using the blockchain to promote their stuff and to But this is something completely different. I actually like the concept a lot.
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds amazing. Okay, how the Chinese yuan capital flights influence Bitcoin price? It's actually quite strange now because we've seen a little bit of a spark now as the yuan is also struggling, continues to struggle.
Yes, I mean, yeah, but why is it going Bitcoin? Because everywhere fiat currencies are struggling. And you know what? There's the big elephant in the room is still the worldwide government debt that now people are forgetting about. But tell you what, if interest rates starts rising, these debt levels are going to become a serious problem.
Mm. Well, also China and the capital flight thing, they've stopped, they're looking into, Chinese government's looking into every deal that the Chinese are making overseas. So even old Kate Blanchett can't sell her house in Sydney now because some Chinese person wanted it, and now he can't pay for it.
Yeah, interesting.
It's not like he doesn't have the money.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money in Australia. The Chinese government just decided that he doesn't have the money.
Oh, so I said, why not somebody needs to phone Kate Blanchett and say to her, listen, talk to this guy and get it in Bitcoin.
Let's focus on the news.
Okay, this is this is actually quite an interesting story because it started out as people thinking that it's just a Black Friday hack when the San Francisco public transit fare systems started to falter, and all of a sudden they gave, they just didn't work, and people were commuting all over the show for free. And it turned out to be another ransomware, a ransom, and they wanted Bitcoin. They only wanted 100 Bitcoin to get it sorted. And of course, they decided they wouldn't pay this ransomware. And on Monday, the business was back to normal. However, they lost a whole lot of money for the weekend, and
exactly.
Also, yeah, and they've still got some of the information, and they're not.
Well, let me tell you what, this hacking is becoming a terrible thing. I mean, we've had news every day. We've had this Liechtenstein bank that was hacked, where people wanted ransomware not to disclose client accounts. Now we've got this San Francisco Transport Authority Act, and hackers wanting a ransom. And also I saw in the UK the National Lottery was hacked. I didn't see anything about the ransom or whatever, but people's accounts were compromised. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but I tell you what, hacking
increasing.
is becoming a serious problem. And if you have Bitcoins, make sure those Bitcoins are safe by keeping them in an offline wallet.
Absolutely, 100%. So now the Hyperledger blockchain project passes 100-member milestone, and now this is actually quite a successful project, Hyperledger, because there's been some really good that come out of this.
Well,
and
it's open source, and it's more open source than the R3 consortium of banks. So I think this is the reason why. And it's run by the Linux Foundation, which has a history of open source software.
Yeah, and now there's actually 16 members, and 4 of them are based in China. Chinese are getting very involved now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, here you go, John McAfee. We understand that cryptocurrencies are here to stay, and that the greatest risk to cryptocurrency users is the uneven security surrounding these currencies. So get your own wire and put them around your offline bank. So here's a IBM test blockchain for supply chain with India's Mahindra Group.
Very interesting. Another supply chain issue or test.
Yeah. There's a lot going on with supply chain and the blockchain.
Yes, absolutely true.
And let's go up. blockchain proven to be faster than wire transfers in the banking payment test. Some bankers in Japan went and did a test and they discovered, yes, actually it's faster.
Yes, I mean, it's fast. It's faster, and also in the bank can't delay it out of their own accord when they, you know. So yeah, welcome to the world. The Bitcoin is faster than the bank wire transfer. I think that's pretty common knowledge.
Yeah. Anyway, they did a test to prove it. So WikiLeaks has raised about 4,000 Bitcoin since 2011. You know, because what happened is they've actually shut down all their bank accounts and everything. So WikiLeaks bank accounts have been shut down, but not Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So Julian Assange will continue his work. And let's go up here. A judge disapproved at the IRS request to seek Coinbase's user records. Says it's fine. Everybody was up in arms about this because the IRS wanted to check who's actually got an account, who's evading tax.
Yeah.
And yeah, Japan Exchange Group expands blockchain trading trial.
Tracy, my sound, the sound is fading a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I struggled to hear you there for a few minutes.
Okay. I don't know what. Look, you know, we're actually. I'm looking into getting new microphones and all sorts of things. So, work in progress, Peter.
No, I realize, and also I wanted to ask our listeners to be patient. We are transmitting from from far apart, and we it's not always under our control. It's more bandwidth issues and stuff, and we're trying our best to get this as seamlessly as possible.
Yeah, we are. So can you hear me now about this? Japan Exchange Group has formed a consortium between several companies within its umbrella to test blockchain market infrastructure proof of concept.
Yes.
Of course, Japan is on the forefront of this as well. Japan Exchange Group. And well, that went very, very quickly, Peter. That's the end.
Wow. Yes, sorry that it's so that I all of a sudden went dead a little bit, but I couldn't hear you. But no, the news is interesting, and we'll definitely get up to date. And please sign in tomorrow. We're going to talk about the price.
Yeah, we are. We're going to do the news, and we're going to do a separate price, Bitcoin price watch. I mean, look at the price here over here. Still 7. Oh no, it's gone up 753.
Yeah.
Just a bit up there. Yeah. But exciting stuff, Peter.
Very exciting stuff, and yeah, just
and we'll chat.
We'll chat tomorrow.
We'll chat tomorrow. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Tracy.
Cheers.